So the question is, what do you do about toxic family members at family functions? We're not just talking Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's, Thanksgiving. We're not talking about those special holidays, Easter, where toxic family members like to show their ass. We are talking about all kinds of family functions, weddings, funerals. Oh, yes, toxic people love to act up at funerals, especially. And the crazy part about those toxic people is they take free reign to act a fool at these major family functions. But you, in your right mind, really can't do that. And if you do, then you become one of those toxic people. So, on today's IGTV episode, I want to talk about how do you actually handle toxic family members, specifically at family functions. Where do I even start? So I wrote this book called The Haters Aren't Who You Think They Are, 27 Ways to Handle Family Who Don't Clap When You Win. You can get the book on Amazon at overcomingfearbooks.com. It will take you to my Amazon author profile. It's a really important book to read because I'm about to hit some of the highlights that I talk about in The Haters Aren't Who You Think They Are. Here's the deal. Toxic people embrace their toxicity. In fact, they embrace their toxicity so much, they don't even know that they're toxic. So number one, you got to realize when you're at a family function dealing with a toxic person and you're in the back of your mind, you're going, how do they not know that they're being a jerk to me? How do they not know that they're out of hand? How do they not know? They don't know for the most part because either they ignore it or B, they embrace it and they think everybody else should cater to them. So let's just get off the whole thing. How do they not know? Because that's not going to serve you. When you're at a family function with a toxic person, you have to do a few things that in the moment are pretty hard to do, but absolutely necessary if you're going to maintain your composure and if this is not going to become a Jerry Springer episode. Number one, set your boundaries. Meaning, before you even go to the family function, you need to decide how much you're going to talk to that toxic person or how little you're going to talk to them, the kinds of responses you're going to give them when they get out of line. And trust me, if you've done enough family functions with this person, you know exactly how they're going to get out of line. You need to decide up front when you're going to arrive, when you're going to leave, what is your cue to leave. If you have somebody that you're bringing with you to this event, you two need a code word for, parrot. Like when I say parrot, it's time to get the hell out of here. When you have to set up some of those boundaries and those perimeters, you also have to make sure that you're not bringing toxicity with you to the table. So when you're dealing with a toxic person at a family function, you need to be clear-minded. Now, New Year's Eve, you may want your champagne, but if drinking too much champagne is going to cause you to get in the mess with that toxic person, I would say have some, what is it that they do? Sparkling apple, whatever, instead of the champagne. You need to do whatever you have to do to be clear-minded throughout the process. The next piece of this is do not gossip with other family members about this person. I would say pretty much before the family function and certainly not during, because that will trigger them to confront you about something in the middle of a situation that does not involve all these other people just so that they can have a Jerry Springer episode. So do not engage in toxic behavior like gossip, backbiting. None of that is going to serve you if you are not a toxic person yourself, and in fact will fuel the toxic person to feel that they are in the right for confronting you at the Thanksgiving table. Don't do it. Next thing, don't force other people in the family to pick sides. Do not triangulate. That's a therapy term, other people in the mix. Don't say, well, mom, my brother over here said this about my wife. Or don't triangulate people. It puts them in a really shitty position. It puts you in a shitty position and it makes you look just as toxic as the toxic person. Final thing I want to say, and this is a saving grace, two things. If you know that you're not going to avoid drama and a shit show with a toxic person, either decide to not go to the family function, send everybody your love and have peace at home, or go home early. And those might sound like cop-outs, but at the end of the day, what is your peace of mind worth? If that toxic person's not going to change, then you got to change something so you get your peace. So decide in advance that either you're not going to go or you're going to go home. That's how you handle toxic family members at family functions.